Oh yeah, I know that grind data. I know what you're talking about. Good morning. Morning tea. Although I don't know about the other part of what you said. Close enough, I guess, right? True. Pretty much the same deal. So yeah, have a good one. Okay, let's roll for something. Let's do this thing. We're looking at the 25th. So, start things off with a prompt. I feel like we don't get enough low numbers. I feel like I want a low number. 90's not a low number. 90 always feels like something. Yeah, we've done feasting really recently. That's crazy. I'm gonna reroll. With 2 D100 lists, front and back. Okay, 56. "56, aghast by the sight." Aghast by the sight. The sight of what? What is so striking? Aghast by the sight. Certainly makes me think of spectacle. You know, some wild location for a castle, or literally aghast, more encounter. Could just be just write aghast on the 5 lines and move on to the next day. Well, we did haunted stuff so recently, so maybe not that, because I feel like we did like 2 haunted things really recently. But aghast can be, you know, sort of a shock or surprise or maybe horror. All of those things at the sight of what? At the sight of, you know, something Something terrible, something large, something threatening. Could be something good. Some sort of wild twist. Impending doom. Something coming over the horizon. Maybe a threat that will be a threat soon, something you can prepare for. Warning construct. That could be kind of nice. Something approaching. Could be a prophecy. Okay. I can work with that idea. Hey, what's up? Igor, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Right, starting things off here. Daily encounter stream, so we come up with usually a couple tables fitted into this tiny little journal field. And usually we end up coming with some pretty interesting stuff. A gas at the site of a landslide. Okay. All right. We're all on the same wavelength here. Let me... All right. First pass at it here. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching ... What is approaching on the horizon? Something I feel like it's something that's going to give us time to plan. So maybe not the wave of the tsunami. Maybe if it's far enough out, a storm front. That could work. I'm thinking anywhere from an hour to days of preparation. Something on the horizon that's like, hey, that thing. Look at the crows. Locust swarm, the vultures. Is it too early for the void? I might reflavor the concept of the void. Maybe like cracks in the sky. The crows or the locusts. Could be a crack in the earth. Totally. Absolutely. The approaching, yeah, crack in the earth. I like that. Vultures, locusts. Well, the weird glowing at night, of course, is the approaching moon. What are you talking about? I think I played that game. Slowly. The approaching. Okay. All right. We can do. I'm just gonna say swarm. I'm not sure about the contents of the swarm, but the idea of swarm definitely holds up. The approaching forest. That would be interesting. The trees marching ever steadily forward. The bees. How about like the approaching undead? I don't know. We also haven't said giants yet. I felt like giants would be my first thought, but that's not what I ended up. That's not where we ended up going with it. Maybe it's undead giants. Mountains that I'm gonna say undead giant. That feels like a problem. That feels like a problem that we need to solve. Hey, so it's lumbering. It's not gonna be here quick, but scouts have identified that it is a giant. It does appear to be dead and alive, and it'll be here in a week. Arcane storm. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching storm front, crack in the earth, swarm, the approaching tree line, the undead giant. Obviously, I mean, we could do some sort of army. Question is, what sort of army? Army generic isn't very interesting, but if it's a maybe even like what do you never say? You never hear like halfling army. You never hear like, it's always some threatening. It's like who's not threatening? Who's not often very. Skeleton army is good. An army of owlbears. Well, that would be pretty. I do like gnomish army. It's like, okay, get the town together. Who pissed off the gnomes? Seriously, the gnomes. That's like the Tarrasque. It's like the other end of the spectrum. Bay army of woodland creatures. Gnomish army. There's definitely something. There's definitely something with the arcane. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how to represent wizards in all of this. We could represent constructs. We could robots. Some sort of machinery could be whirring and treading its way. Little war machines. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, Connor, an arcane wall. That's not bad. Some sort of massive spell front. Yeah, because it wouldn't be like a wizard to announce their presence that way. They wouldn't necessarily be identifiable and to be planned for. That'd be lame. What if it was just like the darkness? Ooh, a walking fortress, walking tower, maybe. I like that. Could even be a floating tower. We've spun up a number of those before. It's a cool flying creature that's not a dragon to have an army of. Cool flying creature that's not a dragon to have an army of. What are those things? Manticores? Manticores are cool. I think I might like floating tower. That's like the one way that you would know that a wizard was coming, when they were lazy enough and egotistical enough to just float their tower towards you. True, Igor. Let's see. So an army of it'd be like a fleet of manticores. Let's see. Anti-magic field. What if it was like? How about sweeping like magical darkness? Okay. All right. That all makes sense. Now for the twist. Okay. So for table 2, the lookouts pointed to the horizon, the approaching storm front, the gnomish army, the war machines marching towards the gates. Either we fight it or give it what it wants. ... What does it want? The undefined approaching force or forces. All of the cheese. I'm going to say a sacrifice, like a worthy sacrifice. Let's see. Okay. I can make that work, I think. If someone was imprisoned that they want freed, um, they want it wants the prisoner freed, whoever that just so happens to be. The lookout's pointed to the horizon at the approaching tree line. Floating tower. Leet of flying lions. Either we fight them or give them what they want. A worthy sacrifice. All of our cheese. The prisoner freed. So this is what does whatever is approaching. What do they want? Either we fight them, give it what they want. Just the keys to the kingdom. Well, then I think we fight. It's over the worthy adversary. I mean, it could be, passage through the valley, passage up the mountains. Some sort of artifact. How about the soul gem? Yeah, maybe it's not even about the town. Maybe it's about clearing a way, clearing a path. What does it? It wants to consume. Maybe it's about giving it a different target. It's kind of dark. Could redirect it. Double it and give it to the next person. Exactly. What does it want? This is kind of vague, but it could work. What about the truth? I mean, it certainly would want food, fuel to be fed. But how? We already have a worthy sacrifice in there. What if what it wants is a new host? Could say, how about some of our land? Just say that. Either we fight it, we give it what it wants. Worthy sacrifice. All of our cheese, the prisoner, go free, the soul gem we have, safe passage through the mountains, a new easy target, the truth, a new host, some of our land. Directions? That'd be a silly thing to not just be able to get or give. Maybe it's some other type of resource. We have soul gem, some sort of magic, some sort of treasure. Could be the reserves. It could be a hoard, or a like a treasure hoard. Maybe access to the vault. Let's say access to the vault. There could be lots of stuff in there. All right. Hey, Mr. A magical creature that's been living amongst the townfolk without their notice. I like that, too. All right. Unique day, 2 D10 lists. Let's roll a few. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Doubles. An 8 and an 8. That means it happens twice. It doesn't. We don't have rules for that here. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching floating tower. We looked at each other. We said, either we fight this thing or give it what it seems to want. A new host. So wait, is this an entity that is like possessed this tower? It's looking for a host. It's looking for something new. It's like, do we have anything bigger? Can we build anything bigger than the tower to pull this thing into and send it off? Like this some errant spirit that has animated this and is moving it. Hey, rookie, welcome to the stream. Like a poltergeist. Yeah, exactly. Such an interesting twist for that. It's like how do we're just gonna give it one of our buildings? It's like, what, do you know how to fight a tower? I don't want to fight a whole tower. We got a 6 and a reroll. 6 and a 3. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching gnomish army. Now, it doesn't seem threatening from here, but they are persistent. So either we fight them or we give them what they want. We free the prisoner. Like the prisoner. Wait, what association do the gnomes have with, you know, do they even have a relationship with the archfey that we have locked up? Wait, did they call them? Did they summon them? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it might be worse if we let them go. $10 and a 7. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching magical darkness. Either we try and fight that off or give it what it seems to want, which is access to our vault. Okay, but what is in that darkness? What is that force? It's like, look, we don't know exactly who, but everybody in town has been having, just to check with the council here, the same dream, right? The same words coming out of the darkness. We hear them. We wake up writing the same message. We open the vault, let the darkness in. I think there's a chance it might leave the rest of us alone. What is it? A 4 and a 7? The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching tree line. Now we've been tracking it for the past week, and trees don't grow that fast. That forest is moving. Either we fight it, or we give it what it seems to be asking for. What's it asking for? It wants the truth. The truth? The truth about what? I think it's like the forest knows what we did. And the players turn to the elders. They're like, wait, what are you talking about? What did you do? Now the players maybe are on the side of the forest. And what did the elders do to anger the forest? The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching fleet of manticores. Either we fight them somehow, or give them what they seem to want, which is safe passage through the mountains. Easy choice, right? Well, we are one of the only towns sort of on the way to the capital. Do we fight for the king, or let the king fend for himself? He's refused to send us reinforcements these past few months. Not sure how we should take that. Okay, so reroll over here. Cool. Oh, reroll there too. And the lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching swarm. Either we fight it, don't know how many there are, or we can give it what it seems to want. Some of our land. Seems like if we just sort of back up, if we let it sort of, this swarm seems like seasonal, seems to move through. We've tracked it moving through these other areas. And if we just let it feast and nest, after a couple of weeks, it seems like it'll move on. So if there's a place we can relocate the town in the meantime, relocate the town. The only place we can go is into the caves, the tunnels, but those have been infested with way worse. Yeah, well, swarm or those monsters, which is worse? Do one more roll. A 5 5 good? Yeah, 5's good. 5 and a 6. The lookout's pointed to the horizon at the approaching undead giant. It's lumbering and slow, but it's a threat. And the lights, not only from the town, but from the setting sun, keeps drawing it in this direction. Keeps following the sun and getting closer. Either we fight the thing, or just spitballing here, an idea the council should consider, if we gave it a new easy target. Right? If we directed it south, we could set the lights, we could use magic, we could use mirrors, we could draw it south. They're like, yeah, but the south, that'd be through the farms. That'd be, those towns to the south would be defenseless. What are we supposed to do? The dark times. It's a fight or worse. Cool. It'd be someone else's problem. All right. So I think. Yeah. I'm going to try to draw this one up. Pointing to the horizon. Hey, thanks, Igor. Yeah, I'm glad. This has been a new addition lately. We've been trying to find. I basically have an idea for a way to sort of make videos out of some of these streams, and it's using sort of some visuals to kind of layer in. At least that is the goal. What's up, Elder? How was PAX? Also, there are some little stairs right there. It's awesome. Are you asking him to spoil his own video? Oh, okay. If that's what you're doing, that's fine. Just making sure. Couldn't be clearer with that. Thanks. I'll probably finish it later, but. Nice. I can work with that. Maybe with a... yeah. Cool. And, of course, a couple for the road. 3 and a 6. The lookouts pointed to the horizon at the approaching swarm. Either we fight or give it what it wants. A new easy target. Ugh. We don't have to deal with the plague this year. We could just redirect those locusts, those poor folks, to the north. I mean, that would satisfy the hunger. The lookouts pointed at the horizon, the approaching threat. Either we fight the gnomish army, or we give it what it's after, which is safe passage to the capital city, of course, which, you know, has its own problems. Like gnomes, like approaching gnomes. Let's reroll that. Come on now. And the lookouts pointed at the horizon at the approaching storm front. We either fight it or we give it what it wants, some of our land. So like storm giants, maybe? Or maybe some sort of storm mage. Nasty stuff. All right, cool. That'll do it for today. Thanks, everybody. Might be on later tonight. I've got some other stuff to do today. But either way, come back tomorrow. We'll do another one just like this. Thanks a lot. If you like this stuff, definitely check out my shop, Encounters to Inspire. It's a 2-booklet set of basically this stuff, but kind of filled to the max with a bunch of extra fun stuff to make encounter building using tables and things like this. Hopefully a lot more fun and interesting to do. There's a link to it there. Of course, if you are not on the Discord, it's a great way to plug into the community because people are building stuff like this every day as well in the Discord. I think they're working on one right now. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll catch you next time.